From the heart of Philly, this is CBS News Philadelphia on Philly 57. Now at 8 o'clock, back in custody. The prisoner, who's been on the run for days, is captured by U.S. Marshals miles away from where he escaped. Good evening and thank you for joining us, everyone. I'm Yuki Washington. Aleem Borden was captured this afternoon 200 miles from Temple University's Episcopal campus in Kensington, where he got away on Monday. After being nearly captured in Philadelphia by U.S. Marshals on Tuesday, Supervisory Deputy Robert Clark says they learned Borden was picked up later that evening and driven by two people from the city to Johnstown, Pennsylvania. Clark says local deputies along with marshals searched two locations before finding Borden inside the attic of a home.
After knocking and announcing their presence, a woman answered the door, granted investigators permission to search, and confirmed Borden was presently in the home. Deputy marshals breached the crawl space entry point, and Borden had to be forcibly removed from the attic.
At this time, the marshals say no one is facing charges for assisting Borden. He remains in Johnstown tonight, but is set to be brought back to Philadelphia in the coming days. Turning to our forecast now. A sunshine-filled day led to a clear night, but the February cold is in effect. This is a live look at Head House Square in Society Hill. So, how about a March warm-up? Will it come in like a lamb and not a lion as per usual? Here's meteorologist Grant Gilman.
Per usual. We like it nice and easy. We just want to ease right
on in, man.
That's right. Going into March. Got a little extra February today, as is per usual, with a leap day, right? Temperatures peaked in the low to mid 40s this afternoon. Now we're cooling under mostly clear skies, but again, it is kind of seasonable out there. Temperatures still right around 40 degrees in Philadelphia, 36 in Trenton, back below freezing in Allentown at 31 degrees, Mount Pocono at 26. Those are the temperatures, but that's not what it feels like out there. Like most of the day, it has been pretty blustery. Still blustery out there this evening, but those winds will relax. Nonetheless, feeling like 34 in Philadelphia, 31 in Millville, Wilmington. You feel like 30 degrees. So it is a chilly night out there, but those winds will gradually relax as we make our way through the next several hours. All of that under clear skies. A little lake effect snow to the north across New York, but for us, we'll keep skies clear, and with that, temperatures will drop off pretty quickly as we head through the overnight. We're back down below freezing by the time we head through 1, 2, and 3 o'clock in the morning. Those feels like temperatures will be less and less of an issue as we make our way into the early morning hours for your Friday, but still starting off with temperatures near 29 degrees before warming under mostly sunny skies. A quick warm up tomorrow. Temperatures actually peaking above normal tomorrow afternoon with highs in the lower 50s. So, to answer Yuki's question, a nice easy seasonable start to March. However, the lion comes in, if you will, on Saturday with a decent chance of rain. Plan on some rain for those Saturday morning plans especially. But after that, a nice stretch of 60s enters the 7-day forecast. We'll take a peek at that and look ahead for any more rain chances in that 7-day forecast in just a few minutes. But first, Yuki, we will send it back over to you and we'll check out how March plays out. Probably a little bit of lion and a little bit of lamb. Okay, all right. We'll see in a little bit. Thank you, G. Remember, you can always get the latest on the next weather forecast, even when we are not on television. Just go to cbsphiladelphia.com/weather. Well, Philadelphia teachers are pushing back on a policy that they say penalizes them when they take a sick day. As CBS Philadelphia correspondent Marcela Bayeto reports, educators took their grievances to the school board.
We can't take it anymore.
Educators chanted and marched outside the school district of Philadelphia, holding signs expressing their frustration over a nearly 40-year-old policy.
It penalizes them for using their sick leave.
It's unofficially known as the 3579 policy. Teachers are allowed 10 sick days a school year for themselves or to take care of a sick family member. But after their third occurrence, whether it's a single day or consecutive sick days, they'll have to meet with their principal, who writes a memo documenting the incident.
I've gotten several different warnings just for taking sick days I needed.
But teachers like Liam Kelly say it doesn't stop there. As teachers accumulate 5, 7, and 9 sick days, memos advance from a warning to eventually an unsatisfactory incident report. It also could lead to recommended suspensions and meetings with the assistant superintendent.
There's this threatening air about it, and we just want to be left alone to do our jobs and left alone to live our lives the best way that we can.
In a statement, the district says, in part, discipline of a teacher for poor attendance, including suspension or termination, is extremely rare. We offer many days of paid time off per year, and no teacher should come to work when they are sick.
If no one's fired, it's because we're too afraid to use our 10 days.
2,000 members of the Philadelphia Federation of Teachers have signed a petition calling on the district to change the policy. Several testified in front of the school board on Thursday.
Policy shouldn't really be there. It's something that casts a black cloud over our jobs.
The board tells me the issue tonight wasn't on their agenda, and since it is a district policy, there isn't much of an action that they can take for now. Here in Spring Garden, Marcela Bayeto, CBS News, Philadelphia.
As part of his promise to ensure safe and secure elections, Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro announced today the formation of the Pennsylvania Election Threats Task Force. The task force will work to combat threats to the election process, such as voter intimidation and political misinformation. Al Schmidt, the Secretary of the Commonwealth, will lead the task force. Well, we are 249 days away from the general election, and the last presidential election left that the faith of many shaken when it comes to the system. A recent poll showed more than a third of voters still do not believe President Biden was legitimately elected. There is no evidence to support that claim. Dan Snyder explains how a former governor is now working to restore trust in elections.
The election was rigged and stolen. It's a shame. It's a shame.
A common claim from former President Trump, and one many of his supporters seem to buy. A December Washington Post University of Maryland poll found 36% of Americans view Joe Biden's 2020 win as illegitimate. 62% of Republicans said there was solid evidence of widespread voter fraud. Former Republican Pennsylvania Governor Tom Corbett is not one of them.
To my knowledge, nothing has been proved that there was major cheating. How popular do you think I am with them right now if they hear that?
Corbett has joined a new nonpartisan group, Keep Our Republic, whose main focus is on the time between polls closing and the presidential inauguration.
The problem is most people don't know, including elected officials, what happens in there. What's the system?
Like in Pennsylvania, where mail-in ballots can't be processed until Election Day, which could delay declaring a winner. Corbett says that's where education comes in, but they face challenges with the spread of false information online, and there's a new threat in 2024, AI.
That ability to influence or affect an election is frightening.
Corbett says Keep Our Republic works to educate election leaders so they can answer questions and spread truth when challenges come up. It's something Philadelphia Commissioner Lisa Deely says they're already doing.
The eyes of the world will be on Pennsylvania and specifically Philadelphia, so we recognize that. Me and the fellow commissioners, we do everything we can to get in every nook and cranny of the city.
Pennsylvania is a potential swing state, and Philly was a focal point for election critics 4 years ago.
We had one of the safest, most secure elections in the history of Philadelphia in 2020, in spite of all those challenges.
Commissioner Deely shares concerns about misinformation, but wants city residents to know their vote is secure. Dan Snyder, CBS News, Philadelphia.
The two frontrunners in the race for president visited the border in Texas today. Former President Trump was in Eagle Pass, one of the central locations in the border controversy. And President Biden took a tour in Brownsville, where illegal border crossings are now down. Recent attempts to pass a bipartisan immigration deal have been blocked by Republicans. Today, Trump blamed Biden for alleged crimes committed by migrants.
Now the United States is being overrun by the Biden migrant crime. It's a new form of vicious violation to our country. It's migrant crime.
A key component to this issue, House Republicans have been holding up spending legislation, including aid to Ukraine and Israel, over concern of what to do along the border. A rally for immigration rights was held outside City Hall this morning by the Pennsylvania Immigration and Citizenship Coalition, or PICC. The group gathered to push back against the return of Trump-era executive orders that they say are harmful to immigrant families. PICC urged President Biden not to sign any executive orders that will harm immigrant families.
The urgency here is that we continue to see people who have come here legally seeking asylum, and they're being instead sent back to their country without a due process.
The group also called on the president to close 3 detention centers in Pennsylvania and 1 in New Jersey.